But speaking of Triple H, he actually made a very, very interesting announcement during Bad Blood. And that is that next month at Crown Jewel, there will be the first ever Crown Jewel championship and the first ever Crown Jewel champion. In which case, the world champion of Raw is going to go up against the WWE champion, and the women's world champion is going to go up against the WWE women's champion. Neither of those titles will be on the line, but the winner of that match will win the WWE Crown Jewel Championship. And this will be happening in Saudi Arabia at Crown Jewel. I wanted to know your opinion on the concept. I wanted to know your opinion on this idea of this title.
Hey man, they said AEW be having a lot of belts. They got a lot of belts. Mind you, this is about to be temporary, but still. And let me be clear, I'm not an AEW guy, not a WWE. I'm not a WWE guy. I'm a TNA guy. I'm not getting paid for none of these people. I just state my opinion. All right. So I mean, it's a good concept, but it's like, damn, bro, I'm just gonna get a big ass title. Excuse my language. I'm just about to get a big title and that's it. So I got this big title. What I'm gonna do? I won the Crown Jewel title in 2024. Okay, you can't get no. What you get with that? You get a discount at the store. You get some WWE shop merch discount. What is that in tune? So I guess it's just bragging rights. I'm trying to think who's the women's champ for Raw.
Liv. So it's gonna be
Oh,
Liv
okay.
versus Nia.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had to think about it for a second because sometimes that slipped my mind. Like the women's tag title. I'm like, dang, who got that? Oh, Jade and Bianca. I had to see it yesterday.
Mhm.
I'm not a sexist to a certain degree. So I didn't know who had the titles, but nah, it's cool. I think it's a good idea. I don't think all these pay per views is a good idea, but they doing all these pay per views and or they call them premiere events. I'm from the old school, y'all. Pay per views, so they don't have to do house shows starting next year. Not that many starting next year, which is smart because you turn over an insane amount of profit every pay per view. So that's cool. And then because we know usually with Survivor Series they do this, but obviously they won't be doing it this year because we got War Games and Cody Rhodes gonna be involved in War Games and Gunther probably be sitting at the crib maybe. Uh, they could have actually put that Sammy versus Gunther match for Survivor Series if you wanted him to work during Survivor Series, but I guess he'll probably just get cat at the crib. But by the way, when this comes out really quick, yeah, they about to have an insane like raw pause on that one.
That's a crazy pause, but yes.
That's it. That's crazy. But yeah, this when this comes out, thank you for subscribing. Like, subscribe, all that. Yeah, the Raw tonight when this comes out is about to be insane. This is pay per view worthy, the one coming out. But going back to Crown Jewel and I'll close out. Uh, yeah, this cool. We get to see Cody versus Gunther, Liv versus Nia. Uh, yeah, that works for me, I guess.
Personally, so funny thing that you mentioned about Raw, because I actually meant to kind of tackle it just a little bit. I think that people kind of are sleeping on what WWE is doing right now as far as how they're structuring their PLE weekends, right? Because it's not about which show, it's about the spotlight that you're putting on each performer and where they can shine the most. If you have 9, 10 matches on a card and you're only going for X amount of hours, that means you're only going to have X amount of minutes, right? That triple threat ladder match on SmackDown for the tag titles, banger. They would not have been able to tell that story and go that length if they were on Bad Blood. Now they have 2 title matches tonight. They have an Intercontinental title match with Xavier and Jay, and then they have a world title match with Gunter and Sammy, right? Those 2 matches are big matches. Those matches would have been shortened had they happened at Bad Blood. So I think that we need to start reimagining and rethinking what we deem as important and where people are placed on the card, because it's not always about the event in which they're featured on. But if we can give them a 30-minute match on Raw as opposed to a 10-15 on the PLE, that's what's best for both performers. That's what's best for the titles. That's what's best for our overall product, because now you're adding equal value to all of these shows. So now everything becomes must see. Even if, you know what I mean? There was a point in time where, like, you watch the PLE, there's a drop off the night after because we already saw all the matches that we wanted to see. And I could watch a promo on Twitter. I could watch a whatever on X, on Instagram, on TikTok. So now to have two main event worthy matches happening the night after your PLE, I think is a genius idea. Moving off of that, when it comes to the Crown Jewel Championship, I think that it is smart because I feel like there was a form of bragging rights that we loved from the Survivor Series War Games couple 4 years ago when we had the NXT versus SmackDown versus Raw. The reality is that while the stuff of it, like events like that are great, when you have that like 3 brand cross promotion and rivalry, the stories of each brand are not going to always be in alignment with this idea of brand rivalry. And so because of that, it's like, okay, you have a separate event where you can have elements of that brand rivalry, right? Without it necessarily interfering with each other's, with like slowing the momentum of stories. So for me, I think it's a really, really good idea. The Crown Jewel Championship almost feels like a Royal Rumble victory. It's valid until the next year, and then it, like, if you're not the champ anymore, you got to surrender that. You know what I mean? I think it's a great idea. Personally, I think it makes for must-see TV, and you don't really know which way it's gonna go because people can get involved, right? You have Liv versus Nia, right? So it's like, now does Rhea get involved in that? Does Tiffany cash in during the middle of the match? And now, since she wins one title, does she win both? When it comes to Gunter and Cody, it's like, ideally you would see Gunter take it, but now with this whole Rock thing at play, is the Rock upset the fact that Roman is affiliated with Cody? And would he get involved in the Cody Gunter match to help Gunter win? Or, you know, does Sammy get involved in a Cody Gunter match? Because tonight on Raw, Gunter just does the unimaginable pause to him and deals with him in a way and does something crazy, and now he wants his lick back. You don't know how this is gonna go. And I think that that's a very, very big I think that's very, very big, and I think that's very, very important when we talk about like pro wrestling programming. So I'm excited. I think I love the concept of it. And I'm very, very eager to see how it turns out. But I want to know how everybody else feels about the Crown Jewel Championship that will be decided at Crown Jewel later this month. But we're going to be moving on. Thank you guys so much for watching the Culture 316 podcast. If you liked what you saw, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so that you guys can stay up to date with all upcoming videos and events pertaining to Culture 316.